Hello class, welcome. On the onset of online learning platform, welcome you. Today we will study class 7th, history chapter number 3rd, the Delhi Sultans. In the previous video, we have studied about the subtopics. So let's recap to the subtopics which we have studied in earlier lecture. Tariq, Tawarikh, birthright, gender distinctions. As we know that Tariq and Tawarikh, Tariq means singular and Tawarikh means plural. These are the manuscripts that were written to know about the past, more about the Delhi Sultanate, the rulers of Delhi Sultans. And afterward, the next term is birthright. What do you mean by the term birthright? Birthright means that it was the privileged given to the people who were powerful, and their son and their next successor will be the same position. Suppose that if the noble is in good position, then his son will be noble in the king's court. And next one is gender distinctions. The differences on the basis of biological differences and the differences that are social differences. According to these differences, men were superior and women were inferior. It was supposed on that time. So I hope that you have understood. So come on the next subtopics. The subtopics which we are going to study: hinterland, garrison towns, the masjid. So we know that from garrison town to empire, the expansion of Delhi Sultanate. We will study here the expansion of Delhi Sultanate beyond Delhi, the region, the area that belongs to Delhi. So in the first term we have to know hinterland. Hinterland means that the land which were associated with the main city, with the cities or port, and these cities were providing the things that were necessary to the rulers, to the cities. And second one is garrison town, fortified towns with soldiers, where soldiers were living in fortified towns. And afterward we are going to read the term the masjid. So firstly, come on here, we will study here the Delhi Sultans tried to control over the internal frontier and external frontier, and it was very difficult to control because they have only control over garrison towns. They have not reached beyond garrison towns. It was difficult for them to control over the hinterland. So they were dependent on plundering, attacking on the hinterland, plundering, attacking, or taking tribute, because they have no control over the hinterlands. So they try to control over by these way. Internal frontiers. Afterward, the Delhi Sultans tried to control over the internal frontier, and they wanted to expand their territory. So what they had done, we will know here. Firstly, we know that it was very difficult to control over large areas, long areas, the lands which were beyond Delhi Sultanate. To control over Sindh and Bengal from Delhi, it was very difficult because of fragile communication, long distances. And Delhi Sultanate also faced many difficulties. The attacks of Mongols tribe from Afghanistan, and after that the Delhi Sultanate faced the rebellion of the governors who were searching the weak points of the Sultan. So these are the problems of Delhi Sultans, but during the time of Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq, the dynasty reached on the ultimate position because they were the powerful rulers. Afterward, we are coming internal frontiers. Internal frontiers means what they had done. They had expelled the pastoralists, those who were keeping cattle for grazing. They also expelled forest dwellers, the people who were living Ganga Yamuna area. They expelled the people from these areas and they started to cultivate the ground. They provided the land to farmers to cultivate the land, and after that they started to take the taxes from the peasant. They started to make fortresses and they had made the roadways to take taxes and to control over the internal frontiers. They make it consolidate strong to control over these areas. Afterward, they try to control over external frontiers, the areas which were beyond their control. So what they had done for controlling the external frontier, they set out military expedition to South India and try to control over the large territory. But it was possible in the reign of Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq. We will know about the rulers of these two dynasties. So during these dynasties, Khalji dynasty and Tughlaq dynasty, the Delhi Sultanate reached their eminence. So these are the rulers: Jalaluddin Khalji, Alauddin Khalji, the time being here, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and two of them are more prominent, Muhammad Tughlaq and Alauddin Khalji. Both of them controlled over large territory beyond the subcontinent. Afterward, we are coming on the subtopic, the masjid. What do you mean by the term the masjid? The masjid is an Arabic word, and it is a Arabic word. The mosque in English we say it. This is a place where Muslims prostrate in front of Allah in the reverence of Allah. They prostrate, they bow down in the congregation mosque. What do you mean by the term congregation mosque? Congregation mosque means that I will tell you, the term is here congregation mosque. Congregation mosque means that Muslims here gather in a group and they prostrate in the reverence of Allah and they offered namaz together, and a congregation mosque means they offered namaz together, and their faces will be towards Makkah in India we say it west, and they will select the most prominent learned person, and the learned person will be known as Imam, and the Imam will deliver sermon, religious speech, they will preach sermon. The Imam will deliver sermon on the Holy Friday, and after that they will pay the respect to him. Sermon is also known as khutbah. So after that, why it is important? Why Delhi Sultans made so many mosques in Delhi? The reason behind it that they wanted to show their eminence and they wanted to show that they are the protector of Islam. And for the second reason is that the Muslims are coming from different backgrounds, so it was compulsory to unite everyone, so they had done the same things. So I hope that you have understood all these subtopics clearly. Thanks for watching the video.